Hi Facebook, Jackie DeTore here. We are getting ready for another edition of DeTore's DIY, and this week we are making dog treats, and I have with me Maryann Gieman for Just for Dogs and Cats Bakery. Yes. And you make all of these goodies that we have here today. And we were kind of just chatting. A lot of people are kind of getting into this movement of making your own dog food, making your own dog treats. I know on Fox 43 we've reported a lot on recalls and all that kind of stuff. So this is one way to eliminate that. And also, a lot of times you have this stuff around your house.
Yes.
And why not feed it to the dog? Yes. So why don't you tell us, how did you get involved in this anyway?
Well, I got 2 dogs and just started, you know, it made them happy. So, and I liked baking. So that's how it started.
Dog mom life.
Exactly.
They drag you in and they don't let you go.
They do.
But we love it. Okay, so let's start with our first recipe that you have here. What's something that you find dogs really, really love to eat?
Peanut butter.
Of course. As do a lot of humans as well.
Peanut butter.
Okay.
But we don't use the normal peanut butter that everybody usually eats because there's too much sugar in it.
Right. So what should you look for?
Natural.
Natural.
Natural. Just make sure there's no sugar in it. The peanut butter I use it's just ground up peanuts.
Gotcha.
So
and that's the best thing that you can do.
That's the best.
Because I know a lot of people share on Facebook and stuff like, don't buy this peanut butter, or peanut butter is dangerous for dogs. But as long as you're getting no sugar added and all that kind of stuff, you're good.
That's good.
All right.
They also, some of the vets now are recommending almond butter.
Okay.
But that, again, can have sugar in it. You just have to read the ingredients.
Just like you should for yourself, reading the label, you should also do that for your animals. All right, so what's our first recipe?
First one is going to be the peanut butter chews. It's a little soft, and most of the dogs like it. You do have to keep it in the refrigerator after they're made. So it's a good one to make. It uses old-fashioned oats. You have to cook them first.
Okay.
And that's, you know, what makes it nice and chewy.
All right. And how long should you cook them for?
According to the package.
Okay.
So it's just really easy. So you cook that, and then you add the peanut butter and the oat flour.
Okay.
If you have trouble finding oat flour, you can just take your oats and just grind them up yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I had to do because none of the stores carried it this week.
Of course, just when you need it.
Yes.
Which is why you can just take, again, you can take these brown oats, put them in a food processor, a blender, anything like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
I use gloves whenever I handle the dog treats. I'm just used to doing it that way. So, and then you just, you know, work it. You can actually make them as thick or as thin as you like. If they're thinner, they're going to be a crunchier treat.
Okay.
If they're thicker, they're going to be a little chewy.
And how many treats does this typically make?
This one here made about a dozen.
Okay.
So it's not too bad. That's actually, you know, if it's in the refrigerator, they're easier to go through with just a little batch.
And how long do they last?
I would say for these 3 to 5 days.
Okay.
If you want them to last a little longer, like you have a small dog and you want to make smaller treats, freeze them.
Okay.
And then take them out as you need them.
Gotcha.
Okay? Then you just cut them. And it's just really easy. You can use any cutters. If you don't have cutters, you can use a turned up cup. Turn it upside down and use that.
There you go.
Fun little shapes.
I see all your little shapes and sizes here.
Kids love to do these things too.
And I know we were walking in here, we had a bunch of our people walking by, seeing your cakes and stuff and being like, oh my goodness, yes, bakery treats. Now, humans can eat these.
Yes.
However, they're not going to be your typical cake for a human because...
You will think I'm the worst. There is no sugar, there's no salt, there's no preservatives. I mean, they're pretty bland, but the dogs love them.
Yes. So. And that's why they're made for dogs.
Exactly.
And some people who are on crazy diets, who knows?
Yeah. My oldest, when he was younger and I first started doing this, he'd see stuff cooling and he'd eat them. And, you know.
I mean, you're talking to the girl that ate dog food when she was a child thinking they were Cocoa Puffs. So
oh my.
Learned my lesson pretty quickly, though. Okay. So we have the peanut butter one.
Yep.
And what is something else that dogs really go crazy for?
Apples.
Apples.
Apples are good for them. I mean, even if you just slice an apple, that's awesome. Just make sure you get the seeds out. The seeds are poisonous.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. Now this one here is a little softer, so we don't really roll this one. I use a cookie scoop after we mix that one up, and you just drop it.
Well, look at that little handy tool.
I know, I love this thing. I am really horrible when it comes to kitchen gadgets. I have tons of them because I think they're just
Yeah,
awesome.
that's neat. Now, I know for the peanut butter one as well, and I think this one too, 350? Set the oven to 350?
Yep. Most of my treats that I bake, I do at 350.
Okay.
It's just, a nice, easy number to remember.
Now, of course, all of these, they can eat them raw too.
They could.
But might not like them as much. It's just better to cook them?
They wouldn't last as long.
Okay.
Yeah. And, I mean, they're pretty hard to serve this way.
And of course, for all of our viewers out there, if you have any questions, please let us know. We're here to answer them. Anything, if your dog has an allergy to something or anything like that, and maybe we can figure out what your dog or pet can eat, please comment right below. Send us your questions right there. We'd love to answer them. That's why we're here. All right, so $3.50 for both of these.
Yes.
We got the peanut butter and apple. And what is our last DIY treat?
The next one is really simple. It's a no-bake.
My kind of baking.
Yes.
You don't have to bake.
This one is really easy, and I mean, the kids really like to help with this one. But for this one, I would recommend wearing gloves.
Okay.
You'd make your hands orange. It's pumpkin and peanut butter and oats.
Okay.
And I use my handy tool again. You have to refrigerate this dough for about 10, 15 minutes until it's easy to work.
Gotcha.
And you just roll it into a little ball. Of course, it's not cooperating with me.
And for all of these, you're using the oats as well. So it's just your main ingredient and oats and the oat flour for these two? The apple and the pumpkin, peanut butter?
Yes.
Okay.
And this one here, it's peanut butter, pumpkin, and the oats.
So how did you kind of figure out what the dogs like and what they don't like?
Trial and error. I mean, they always beg at the dinner table anyway, so it's usually pretty easy to figure out what they kind of like cheese.
Oh, well, who doesn't like cheese?
Exactly.
And I know we're showing right now some of the other stuff. You actually specialize in cakes. You're based in Harrisburg.
Yes.
And you make these fancy cakes for all of the dog and cat occasions, correct?
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes, I do make cat cakes as well. They're not as popular, but cats are picky.
And we were talking about this too. I mean, a lot of people think like, oh, I can make my own dog treats, but you can also make your own cat treats at home, right? What are some quick, simple ones that you can just think of that maybe your cat would like?
Tuna.
Tuna?
Yeah, I mean, tuna, just a little bit of flour, some cornmeal, maybe an egg.
Okay.
Just bake that up. You can cut them, or you can just, pick them off in pinches.
But just be careful, because we were talking about before too, cats have a little more of a sensitive stomach and sensitive digestive system than dogs do, so dogs can handle a little more. What are some things that people should absolutely stay away from when it comes to dogs and cats?
The main thing is sugar.
Sugar.
There's the artificial sugar that's coming around. It's really bad for them.
For their digestive system and all that kind of stuff, and you just don't want to get anywhere near that. But this is, I mean, you may not make these every day. I know this is your job, so that's why people come to you. But for the rest of us crazy dog parents, you may not make these every day, but they're fun for an occasion and stuff like that. Or, you get around a Christmas time or a dog's birthday or
special occasions.
Easter. Yes, Easter's coming up. They can get their own little Easter basket. And this is just stuff that you have lying around the house. How many of us have leftover pumpkin that we didn't use for a pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving that's about to expire or something? You can just easily make that up.
Yes, just make sure it's pure pumpkin and doesn't have any spices.
Okay, good to know. That all this just kind of like you're eating clean.
Exactly.
That's the kind of stuff you're aiming for. Any other tips or any other things that people at home, for them to know that dogs, good for them and that you found that they like?
Well, I mean, for the apple and oats, you could grate up an apple and put it in there, even with the skin. Just make sure the seeds are out. The peanut butter and pumpkin, you could try that with almond butter. Or if your dog is allergic to oats, oat flour, switch it up for a grain-free flour. You could do that. So be easy. I mean, it's just trial and error.
Yeah, not oats. Dogs, they're just like us. Yes. They're food allergies and everything else. Okay, so obviously, if we're going to have the dog treats, we need to have taste testers.
Yes.
Obviously. So we have Allie Bradley standing by in studio with her two pups, and they're going to get ready to eat some of these. So we're going to head on over into the studio so Allie can get her dogs ready.
Oh, they're
so
ready.
So they can eat stuff up. And they're, Allie, Are they excited?
Oh, they are. They're
excited?
really excited. This is Bob and this is Phyllis, and I can't tell you, they've been salivating in here watching Maryann's treat DIY. So we're waiting for them to come in so they can try these treats. Bob looks like he needs a little bit of a haircut, but nonetheless, they're very excited, and I think they're going to really like these treats. We've never really done any homemade treats for them. We have gotten some specialty ones. Bubba, can you sit down? Can you sit? Do we have some treats coming in for you?
I mean, can you blame him that he wants to get up? He
no,
can smell the
we have some
food happening
treats
over
coming
here.
in. Yes.
Oh, here we
Okay.
go.
So Bob is going to go for you. Hey, you
Hi,
need to
Bob.
sit down, buddy. Are these good treats? Can you be nice? Yes.
All right. Oh, he took that. So now, I believe that's the peanut butter one,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Is that the peanut butter one?
wanna try
Phyllis,
peanut
would you like to try?
Sweet little lady Phyllis.
Oh, yummies. Is that good?
So I think they may be winners.
I think those are good ones. I think that they pass. Bud, do you like that? Was that good? He's shaking because he's so excited. I don't know, what else does Maryann have?
Want to try the apple?
There's
Now,
an
do
apple
you
one.
give
Be
these
nice.
treats to your dogs regularly
Yes.
when they? Okay.
My dogs do not get
not
store-bought
get
treats.
another
Gotcha.
I mean, that would be kind of really bad if
Well,
It's
yeah.
hard with the convenience, you know, of it is so much easier to grab the store-bought treats, but these can last just as long.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
they're much
especially
healthier
when you
for
have the
them.
couple dogs, and like you said, that these are all freezable as well.
Yes.
And I mean, you can give the dog the frozen treat as well, correct?
you can.
Depending on the dog and their
If-
teeth.
if
I'm
If
assuming.
it's a little, if it's a little, an elderly dog that who's losing their teeth would have a hard time. But for the most part, I mean, my dogs eat ice cubes.
Yes.
Don't tell a vet that.
Yeah.
I've already been told that I shouldn't.
So now, as far as, you know, the limitations, as far, you know, how many, because I know right now our dogs both kind of need to be on
Yeah.
diets, so we've been trying to give them more
We
like
tend to
broccoli.
overfeed them with love.
The things that children also hate, our dogs hate.
Exactly.
So what are, you know, what would the equivalency be if we were going to give them, would we give them one of those treats a day? Can we give them more because they're more healthy, or what?
I always go with smaller.
Okay.
Because you're supposed to subtract it away from their food that they eat. So
Okay.
I always lean
Yep.
towards the
We-
smaller
Don't
bite
run
size.
away.
Phyllis is ready for her close-up
Are you
over there.
running away?
Yeah? You want some more treats?
there we go.
Jackie doesn't have the treats, girl.
I don't have the
You're giving her
treats.
the wrong lady.
I just
Oh, wait,
facilitated
Bob's
the right.
Stealing Phyllis's treats. Thought that was rude.
Well, obviously they like them.
Seems
Good.
like they're big winners.
So how, if people want to get into contact with you, how can they do that?
They can call me or
Okay.
email or Facebook. I also have a website.
Okay. And like you said, you make both dog and cat treats too.
Yes.
A lot of people don't think of the cat treats as Phyllis is just looking for love from
Phyllis is
everybody
just
right
kidding.
now. She is
Are
just.
we not good enough?
It's like I had my treats. I'm ready to go home. So
Diva.
thank you, Maryann, so much for joining
Thank
us
you.
today. These treats are excellent. I can't wait to go home and find what I
Try
have
one?
left over. I know. Our producer was telling me, she's like, Jackie, you should eat one. And I was like,
Do it.
oh my gosh, yours. I don't.
Well, Andrew Callista has eaten dog
Yes,
treats
we
live
have.
on air before,
One of
so.
our sports reporter has eaten dog treats live on air.
But they weren't
so-
like yours.
No.
They were.
No,
No, they
yeah.
were store-bought.
Like
I
yours.
would not say that you should do that.
No, I think.
No.
I think I'm going to leave them. The dogs are so well behaved. I think I'll leave them for them.
Yeah,
the treats.
you think so.
I think
They've
that's
been
the fair
doing
thing to do.
very well.
And of course, thanks so much for everyone tuning in to Tore's DIY. Oh, Phyllis,
on.
you're
You
such
my
a good
buddy.
girl.
I like you. Oh, yes. There we go.
All right,
a ham.
treat time. So thank you everyone for joining us for Tore's DIY. Of course, we're always looking for ideas if you want to come on our little segment here. And if you're a DIY master or you have something that you just need to show all of Central Pennsylvania, please let me know. Comment below, send me a message on Facebook, or you can send me an email at jdtorey@fox43.com. We would love to highlight some local businesses and some people who just have some really great ideas. So thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.